Despite the efforts of the Pierre-led administration to ease the burden of the rising cost of living in Saint Lucia, they are once again under fire by the opposition United Workers' Party. The increase in the price of basic commodities on supermarket shelves, the lack of medical supplies at the island's healthcare facilities, and the overall expense of education were all areas of concern, according to UWP Senator Dominic Fedee. Fedee spoke at the UWP's weekly press briefing on Tuesday, November 12th.
No doubt this is crushing the pockets and the very survival of many St. Lucian families who continue to feel the pain and the anguish. When people go to the supermarket, they are overwhelmed by the sheer price increases, the sheer level of how simple grocery items have gone from one level to the next. So your healthcare costs have gone up, because instead of our health centers and our main hospitals being fully equipped to take care of that for you, you now have to push your hands in your pocket. The Economic and Social Review pointed out that there was a reduction in the school transportation subsidy island-wide and across the board for primary schools and secondary schools. That number actually went down.
All of which Fedee notes the UWP during their tenure tried to alleviate for the vulnerable in society, which he said would serve to bump them up to a comfortable middle-class status.
It was the United Workers' Party that conceived this school bus system so that students can continue to come to the top schools wherever they are, whether they're in the south, whether they are in the city or the north of the country. The school transportation subsidy is a means of lifting many families out of poverty and into the middle class. I don't have to convince you today how important a role the education sector is, how important a role that education plays in the evolvement of our lives, our ability to earn more money.
In the wake of the implementation of the historic livable wage in Saint Lucia, Fedee complained even that may not be enough given the burden of expenses the average Saint Lucian is met with on a daily basis.
So in essence, you are left with $800. You have to pay NIC 5% from that, from the total $1,100. So you're left with very little to then go and face the supermarket where they have very high prices, where at the gas stations, you still have to go and buy the 20-pound cylinder at an increased rate. You still have to go to Massey stores and to get all the commodities you want, much less if you fall sick. Don't even bother falling sick, because if you do, there's no Panadols in the hospital. Basic commodities that you need to get well, you now have to go and buy this yourself.
Fedee further criticized the government's priorities with what he called their gross investment in national festivities, while the country's main human resource is seemingly placed on the back burner. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austinay.